And welcome back to a new video. So I'm joined by Daily Vlog Adventures today.
Hi everyone.
So we're going to have a bit of a wander around Blackpool. It's not just, we're not going to stick on the promenade, are we, today?
Oh no, definitely not.
So we're going to explore a lot of Blackpool, and it's all in regards to rock. Where was the first factory founded in Blackpool? Where's it now? What's happened to it? Where do the people get the rock from? And a bit more about the history of rock itself. I know some people might think it's a bit of a boring subject, but it's fascinating because Blackpool is renowned for rock, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and not only that, you get all different types of rocks. That's probably like soft ones, hard ones.
Totally agree. And it actually originated in India and Persia rock all the way back in the 9th century. And as Jason actually mentioned, it was actually because of medicine as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
So we're going
to use it for medicine, and then realised you can use it as a sweet treat.
Exactly. So like I said, we're going to have a bit of an exploit. It's going to be all around Blackpool. We're not just going to stick on the promenade. We're going to go all the way around. So come and join us on this one. And in Blackpool, there's so many rock shops, and basically most premises, most businesses do sell the rock. Take, for example, this one. And this one is even open Christmas Day of all days, Christmas Day. And like I said, there's all different types of rock and everything you can buy nowadays. And the Bonnet Street Market, a lot of people didn't know this. Apparently, it was first established all the way back in 1844.
And even when you come to the Bonnet Street Market, we even got a rock unit right here.
So we're going to start our search. And notably, there was around 50 companies back in the day who used to manufacture rock. And them numbers have now dwindled. There's literally probably around 5 companies in Blackpool. But one of the notable ones is Coronation Rock, which was established in 1921. And that's one of the most famous and largest manufacturers within the area. You've got also like Stanton and Novelty Confectionery, Blackwood Rock. So we're going to have a quick look, see if they're still going. And like I say, going to get to the heart, going to get to the root of where the company first started. And just on Bank Hay Street, you can see there Coronation Rock. And apparently this was its second premises. And as I mentioned, this one was established in 1927, and it actually holds in the Guinness Book of Records for producing the largest stick of rock. How about that? And we're just on Albert Street, and we're going to head over to Coronation Street. And the reason we're going to go to Coronation Street, because that is where they first established the first premises from Coronation Rock. They served out of a little shop many years ago, and that's long gone now. And then they went to Bank Hay Street, and now they've gone all the way to the airport. So we're going to have a quick look, just see if we can see any resemblance to where this little shop used to be. So I just, this is Dougie. Hi, my name's Paul, Dougie.
Right. Sorry, hi.
And hi. So he's just going to mention, if that's right, Dougie, just about a bit about the Blackpool Rock and how many factories there used to be, how many is there now, and a bit about the rock itself. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem, yes. Well, going back to after the war in 1947, there must have been 50 rock factories in Blackpool.
Wow.
And my dad started his own company then, Ashton Candy Company.
Yeah.
Which closed in 1971. And then in 1974 I started Filed Coast Confectionery. At that time there was at least 25 factories. Now I've been retired 10-12 years. There's 6 left in Blackpool.
Just 6.
There's one sort of largish one.
Yeah.
And the rest are one man and his wife and a couple of family members.
Yeah.
And that's it, sort of very small trade now.
It's amazing how
Yeah.
things change. And you saying
when you think how much used to be made in the old days and how much is made now,
I know.
it's reduced considerably.
So all of this, you mentioned also, all of this is handmade in Blackpool, isn't it? All the different sizes of
it's
rocks.
all handmade. It all starts off as sugar and glucose, boiled up, poured on cooling slabs, put the colour in for the casing, which is the outside, and the letters. I can't explain the letters to you because it's too complicated. You watch it and you say, flipping heck, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
To see it done, you think, Why didn't I think of that?
I know.
You know what I mean? It's as daft as that.
And all the colours are amazing as well,
Yes,
aren't they?
yeah.
Different designs
Yeah.
and all sorts. So
The most popular is still the peppermint and the tutti frutti.
Yes.
That's the most popular stuff.
It's fantastic. Well, I appreciate that nice little story, Dougie.
All right.
Thank you
very
for
much.
that. Thank you. So what an absolute pleasure meeting Dougie, and that's just a very small glimpse into the handmade confectionaries, like I said, just on Coronation Street. Definitely, they've got literally something for everybody, and what a wonderful gentleman he was, giving us a bit of a time, bit of a history lesson from when rock was first made in the companies. So we're going to head over to the airport where the factory now lies, and you see the horse and carts going down Coronation Street. They'll be taking people for a bit of a ride. So yeah, we're going to head over near the airport, and we'll tell you a little bit more about, you know, one of the few very remaining companies what do make rock and fudge in Blackpool. Oh, this is the home for Candy UK, formerly known as Coronation Rock, and like I said, it has been going for many years, and it originally started by Alex Bolton in 1927. And like I said, in 2011 it was bought out, and now is Candy UK, where it supplies many shops in Blackpool, and possibly, you know, wider places than Blackpool itself. So we're just at the only place in Blackpool now who does rock demonstration, how it's made, things like that, and it's called the Rock Candy Kingdom, just on Chapel Street. Like I said, this is the only place what does its own rock, and you can watch the demonstration. It was established in 1987, so we're going to have a bit of a look inside, just see. There's no demonstration today, but we're going to have a bit of a look inside, just see some of the machinery, things like that, and what it's all about. So come and join me on this one. Absolutely amazing. Joanne's going to just tell us a little bit about this, about the machines and the slab and things like that.
So you boil the sugar and glucose up in a pan. Now our batches are a little bit smaller here because it's a demonstration. So it's 25 kilos of sugar to 12.5 kilos of glucose with a bit of water. You boil it up in the pan, and depending on what you're making, usually to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
When it comes to temperature and it's a nice liquid, you tip it onto what we call a cold table. Now this is a sort of big metal plate that has cold water running through it. So when the toffee goes on it, it's already starting to form a skin underneath, which is how the guys can actually touch it underneath, and otherwise you get a bit of that toffee in your skin, you get blisters. We've all got plenty of scars. Whilst it's on here, you'll add the black colour, the lettering, and then you'll add the colours, whatever colour bar you're making, you can choose. And so once it gets to a kind of a solid consistency, you would cut the black toffee out, put it in a bowl, and that goes into the hot table because you use that later. You cut your colours out, because by this time it's setting up, so you're able to sort of, it becomes like a big glob of coloured toffee. Again, goes into the bowls, goes into the hot table. The rest of it, once it's firm enough, it will go on to what we call the pulling machine. That basically just mixes air into it, and that's what turns your rock white. That's how you get your white rock through the centre. It's like a food mixer when you're mixing egg whites.
Yes.
That's all that's doing, putting air into it. You add your flavouring while it's on there. Again, huge range of flavourings, whatever flavour you would like. Whilst that's on there, turning away, putting air into it, that's when he would start making his letters out of the black toffee, and you would use a bit of the white, which is aerated, to make the white acts as a spacing in between the letters.
Yes.
So you'd form each letter out of black toffee and put a bit of white each side, which when you look at a bar is just basically acts as a spacing in the white centre.
Yes.
Since we opened in 87, because when we make the boilings we have there's a lump at the beginning, lump at the end, before you can actually start, the guys can start spinning it to the length they want. So these bags, they weigh a tonne, but they're such a good bargain. They're about £5. That is definitely the best bargain in Blackpool.
And not the lightest bag.
It works your muscles when you come and grab them, but yeah.
And Blackwood Rock is the oldest family, or used to be the oldest family-owned manufacturer in Blackpool, and it celebrated over 70 years of crafting traditional lessered seaside rock. As I mentioned, founded by Bob Blackwood during the post-war era, and it served many of the local stalls all along Blackpool's promenade. Absolutely incredible. Like I said, it was a family business, and rock was also heavily rationed during the wartime, but you know, the demand was really, really high. So I was speaking to the guys opposite, and they said it sadly went about 2 years ago, so you see the old sign is still on there. And even the MP back in 2024, May 2024, got involved and urged, you know, sort of help and support for this business. And sadly, you can see this one has gone. So just exploring along the back of Blackwood Rock, and wow, the building is certainly in need of a lot of repair. Totally overgrown, but how fascinating, you know. Probably many people worked here, spent an awful lot of time producing the rock over the years. So I'd imagine it's probably like an old exhaust fume, something like that, where they used to let the exhaust out, the fumes out maybe. Wow. So deep in the undergrowth, you can even see there's a little shutter. I wonder if this is where they used to transport things in now, but you can see they won't be transporting anything now. I'd imagine the building to the right has now been sort of put up before this was, after this was actually last operated on. Absolutely amazing. And look at this one, absolutely amazing. I love like the old fronts of these buildings, and this used to be Starving Marvin's. Look at that. You see like the old wooden frames and the stained glass windows. I wonder how long this one has been closed for. Wow, I tell you what, the history of Blackpool is really remarkable.
So this one here, it is quite a newish one, but they used to do it somewhere else in Blackpool, and this is also a family run business, and they do lots of in-house rock, fudges, pack it all up and send it everywhere. It's just amazing what you can just see down this one road. You've got so many different businesses compared to like your car shops, and you even got like a scrapyard. You don't see something like this around as much anymore.
And our path leads us up to another place in Blackpool. This is Warwick Road, and this is home to Blackpool Rock, Stanton and Novelty Confectionery. And these have been here since 1969, so serving the shops of Blackpool for over 50 years, handcrafting the most exclusive rock, what you see in the shops in Blackpool. So like I said, there used to be about 50, I did sort of read, and now we're down to just a handful. And there is other places what do make their own rock on site, but that's like for their own shops. But yeah, this one, like it's been here for 50 years, Warwick Road in Blackpool. So we're about to finish today's video off, and just near the comedy carpet, you see there's plenty of people. It looks like it's a bit of a dance competition or something along those lines. So we've got one more thing to do, what Jason did treat me to today. So Jason got some little candy fudge things, so we're going to try and go and burst them open, Jason. So it was from Dougie, that lovely gentleman.
All in-house made these as well.
All in-house. I'll pass you the mic to Jason actually, because thanks, Jason.
So the wind is picking up a bit on the promenade now from that, but yeah, all these all in-house made. Then this crumble vanilla. That is lovely and soft, that. And for a fudge go, that is quite a decent fudge.
So that is the end of today's video. Absolutely blowing a gale. Apparently there's another storm on its way in, and you can see with the murky sky over there. So until next time, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification button. We'll notify you of all the upcoming videos, and it is absolutely windy as anything. Take care, guys. Bye bye.